This is the Omega Seamaster Diver 300M007 edition, the watch that Daniel Craig is wearing in his last James Bond movie, No Time to Die. And while you must wait until next year to see the beloved British spy save the world on the big screen, the already released timepiece might sweeten the waiting time a little bit. I'm Balazs from Chrono24, and in this video I'm gonna talk about the 3 most important things you should know about Omega's latest James Bond watch. As always, I'm also going to show you some interesting watch market statistics from our comprehensive database, something you'll only get to see on the Chrono24 YouTube channel. So if you're curious about watch sales statistics, price developments and market trends, make sure to subscribe because we have a lot more coming soon. But now, let's focus on the watch. According to Jean-Claude Monachon, Omega sat down with Daniel Craig in the early stages of the development and asked him what features he would love to see in the new Bond watch. One of the things the actor brought to Omega's attention is that the character James Bond is on the move quite a lot and oftentimes finds himself in tumultuous circumstances. So he told Omega that his watch should be very light and comfortable to wear. He also mentioned that it shouldn't attract too much attention, as Bond needs to infiltrate buildings and act inconspicuously most of the time. The Swiss watch brand followed Craig's advice and decided to create the watch in titanium, which is considerably lighter than the more common stainless steel. On top of that, the material has 3 times the strength of steel. For the majority of watch owners, the kind of toughness that titanium provides may never be required, but when it comes to characters like James Bond, a watch should definitely be resistant to more than just scratches. Omega also made the Seamaster 300M brushed instead of polished to serve the idea that, in general, James Bond needs to act in a low-key manner. Not only would a shiny stainless steel watch attract too much attention, but it could also distract Bond in a life or death situation. The more muted facade of titanium only seems right in this case. The back of the watch features a few special engravings that refer to several historic facts and stories. Most prominently, you can see a broad arrow at the top, a symbol that was used most notably in England to mark government property. Below the arrow you can read 0552, which is a UK military code chosen by the Ministry of Defence for watches delivered to the Royal Navy. The 7-digit number next to it is a code indicating that this belongs to the category of diving watches. Speaking of diving, the watch is waterproof to 300 meters, hence the name Diver 300, which is shown twice on the caseback. You can also read A/007/62 at the bottom. To break this down real quick, A is the letter Omega uses to highlight that the watch has a screw-down crown, while 007 obviously is the character's iconic code number. The digits 6 and 2 are references to the year 1962 when James Bond first stepped on the silver screen, portrayed back then by the late great Sean Connery. Omega also equipped the watch with its patented Naiad locking system. When you open the case back and screw it back on at a later point, it often happens that the engraving and writings on the back end up in a different position than before. The Naiad system keeps this from happening, so even when opened and closed numerous times, the case back with its engravings is always perfectly aligned. Omega really wanted to go for a vintage military look with this edition of the Seamaster Diver 300M. And it seems like the brand managed to accomplish this with ease. If you look at the dial, you can see that it misses the wave pattern that was used for the previous Seamaster Diver 300M, which looked way glossier and more modern. It's completely smooth now and has a subtle matte dark brown color. There's also no date, which adds to the clean look, and even the indices are colored in cream, which enhances the already warmish vintage appearance of the watch. The Seamaster writing and the tip of the second hand are both colored in red, which beautifully matches the rest of the dial. The bezel is brushed titanium as well, while the inlay of the bezel is actually made of aluminum. A lot of watch fans were confused why Omega chose aluminum instead of ceramic, as the latter is considered to be more luxurious. The answer lies in the fact that they wanted to make sure that the dial and bezel fit the brushed titanium case flawlessly. The color would have looked completely different on ceramic and would have killed the retro military look Omega was going for. It will build up some patina over time and collect scratches eventually, as aluminum is also not as hard as ceramic. Nonetheless, the aluminum that was used has undergone a special treatment, making it twice as hard as regular aluminum.
Aluminum, a light, tough, silvery metal known to every man, woman, and child in America.
The watch is available on this beautiful striped NATO strap, or alternatively on a titanium Milanese bracelet, the latter of which is worn by James Bond in the upcoming movie. However, I actually prefer the version with the NATO strap just because it's sporty and completes the throwback style of the watch wonderfully. we actually were curious to see which of the two versions is more popular amongst watch fans. So we took a look at our Chrono 24 database, which brings me to our ever so exciting market insights. Regarding the price, the watch currently sells for around $9,000 on the Chrono 24 marketplace. The price has been pretty steady after its release in February, and with a model as young as this, it's always exciting to see what the price will be in, let's say, a decade from now. The watch is not a limited edition, so it surely will stay on the market for a while. However, Omega has already stated that the model will likely be discontinued as soon as the first Bond movie after the Craig era is released. No one knows what will happen to its price after that, but it's definitely going to be interesting to follow. As always, we also had a look at our Chrono 24 database. What stood out to us is that out of all titanium watches requested on Chrono 24, today's model now ranks on the 9th spot. Considering the fact that it was only released this year, the ranking indicates that the model is already pretty sought after. In fact, if you look at the most popular Seamaster models in 2020, it ranks on the 13th spot. And even if you look at the most popular Omega models in 2020, the brand's latest 007 edition managed to crack the top 30 ranking at number 23. As I said, we also compared the popularity of the two versions of the watch, and as you can see here, the version with the Milanese bracelet is considerably more popular than the one on the NATO strap. I still prefer the NATO though. While we're on the topic, I just wanted to let you guys know that we have a really exciting video coming soon that will show you how you can find the best watches on our platform in a way you have never seen before. We may even have a special guest for that video, so stay tuned and make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss it. I think the Omega Seamaster 300M 007 edition is a beautiful timepiece, and you could even argue that its design is the most exciting that James Bond has ever worn. What do you think? Did Omega drop a future classic on us with this one? And would you go for the Milanese version or the one on the NATO? Let me know in the comments below, and if you liked the video, make sure to give us a thumbs up. That's it for today. Stay healthy and enjoy your watches. Bye bye.